It's full with liberty and justice.
We have just a couple quick housekeeping items as we start here. Mayor Rust and Reed Clevenger are both off tonight. Administrator, both are gone on personal business. And Mike Sutron's also off too, and I'm not sure why, but he's not coming, probably working. They like to make him work out there. So need to have a motion on the approval of the agenda. It's our first item.
Mayor,
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by the usual sign.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion passes. The next item on our agenda is the presentation from the treatment court of Sweetwater County. You. Perfect.
Hello, council. We're here today from the treatment court of Sweetwater County. I
Mic on? Just being sure.
think it's on.
Okay,
Now it's okay.
yep, sounds
Okay.
good.
My name is Augusta Clayton Davis. I'm the coordinator for treatment court of Sweetwater County. And with me today, I have some of our team members. We have Sergeant Johnson, and then we have Miss Lucero and Detective Holtzgraf. And then we have 3 graduates with us tonight, actually. So you'll be hearing from them as well. I just wanted to update you on where your support and where your funds are going with treatment court. We're a nonprofit program for nonviolent offenders. And we provide the tools to successfully address their substance abuse disorder and while providing treatment and a support system. Treatment court is grant funded. We have a team of 12 professionals that assist in guiding and ensuring compliance while developing creative solutions to address addiction. We address the substance abuse disorder and the maladaptive behaviors and surrounding it and provide skills and successful recovery in both areas. In-kind services from agency representatives include the Department of Family Services, County Attorney's Office, peer specialists, case managers, defense attorney, judge, therapists, Rock Springs Police Department, and Green River Police Department, Sweetwater County Sheriff's Office, and Sweetwater County Facilities. There was a few events that we volunteered, and our participants volunteered, and then our team members volunteered as well for some community service projects. Some of those included Cowboys Against Cancer, setting up and then tearing down. Also, we did CERT training with Emergency Management of Sweetwater County, United Way Helping Hands Day, and we completed 7 projects for that day specifically. And so we were on our hands and knees all pulling weeds together, and it really creates this great rapport with each other when we're right there with them. Other community organizations that support us are the YWCA, Dr. Harmon's Dentistry, Division of Vocational Rehab, Linda Cornell for parenting classes, Western Wyoming College for the GED and the HiSET, and Southwest Counseling Services. We have a monthly alumni events. We provide those for continued support for our alumni, the ones that have completed the program. They are also welcome to always come to the office and call for support. Sometimes I just get updates from them and they just want to check in, but they know that we're still there supporting them. Graduates from treatment court translates into safe children, safe workplaces, tax-paying citizens, of which 40% of our current participants are citizens of Green River. Treatment court results in reduction and recidivism by as much as 45%. 75% of all treatment court graduates remain arrest-free compared to only 30% of those released from prison. Someone attending treatment court instead of the state prison can save up to $13,000 per participant. In 2022, we served 38 individuals. 3 babies were born drug and alcohol free. Our participants are required to obtain full-time employment while they're in the program, complete their GED or HiSET, complete financial management classes. That's provided through the YWCA. Complete health, wellness, and alternative pain management education. Attend treatment the entire time that they are in the program. Curfew checks are done through a GPS app on a daily basis. Parenting classes, career development, of which we have a participant that they're required to develop a career plan and think outside of the box. And so we had one participant that wanted to start his own business. So he created a business plan, insurance, workers' comp, business license, all the things that he needed to do. And for 2 years, he successfully has a business in Sweetwater County that is just thriving. And he's also given back to some of our treatment court children at Christmas time as well. So we love seeing it when they're in their point of recovery where they're giving back to the community. They are also required to obtain their own residence, learn how to manage a household, obtain a driver's license and current vehicle insurance. And we work with other agencies to successfully complete case plans. Funding from the city of Green River has provided and will continue to provide drug testing supplies, monitoring equipment, trauma therapy, treatment, and parenting classes. Additional funding would contribute to the implementation of an additional DUI court or track that would provide early interventions for individuals receiving their second, third, and fourth DUIs. Specific training and scram monitors and portable alcohol monitors are required for the implementation of this program. Support from the city of Green River is changing lives and improving our community for better. Thank you to all the employers, citizens, and businesses of Green River that continue to believe and support in our program and our participants. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for your continued support monetarily and otherwise. You are all part of the change. I have some individuals that would like to speak, and I'm just going to let them introduce themselves.
Well, my name is Morgan Bauer. I'm a graduate from treatment court. I graduated October 18th of 2022. Drug court truly saved my life. When I was at my lowest, they came into my life when I needed somebody, and I'm super grateful for that. Every obstacle and any kind of support I needed, after going to treatment and doing inpatient in order to get my life on track. They truly were there for me every minute that I needed support. With getting a job and taking care of children that, for a very long time, I decided that my children were better off without me. And through the treatment court program, I got my kids back full time. I'm a mother, and that's something that I've always wanted to be after I got clean. I've been clean for 2 years and 1 month, and I plan on continuing to stay clean because drug court truly saved my life. So yeah, that's all.
Thanks.
I'm Nathaniel Doolin. So I am also a graduate. I completed last month on the 21st. I spent 22 months in the program. Drug court saved my life. I mean, I was at the point to where I didn't want to see what the next day had in store for me. And then also went to inpatient treatment, and getting out of there. I mean, this program gave me structure, made me identify, my emotions and what feelings actually were rather than numbing them. Being able to be a successful father. My child was born when I was inpatient, and going into fatherhood, not knowing, I've never been a father, and this program's actually helped me be a successful father. With Linda Cornell, I did her parenting class. I got my HiSET. Started at Arby's as it was a humbling experience, but I mean, I took pride in what I did because I was in recovery, and then soon got a better job. I mean, with benefits and everything else. And I know it wouldn't be possible if it weren't for my recovery and treatment court and the support that is given so freely that is unlike anything else. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, council. My name's Dave Johnson. I've been with the treatment court for 8 years. When I first went to treatment court, it was more or less a duty as assigned type thing. I didn't know what I was getting into. It took me less than a year to realize how awesome the program was. This wasn't some touchy-feely, feel-good program. It legitimately works. And I am a staunch supporter of treatment court. I recently retired in January, and I was blessed to be voted into the treatment court board. So now I'm a board member, so I can still advocate for the treatment court. Seeing these folks transition from when they first come in, I wouldn't be offending these folks if I was to say, a lot of them come in, they're a train wreck. Honestly, some people come in thinking this is a way to stay out of jail, stay out of prison. It is very structured. It's not easy. What these folks have to go through takes a lot of intestinal fortitude. But just watching the growth of these folks as they go through the program and become, a good, productive member of society is overwhelming for me, and I feel like I've been truly blessed to be part of this program. But, we couldn't do it without the city of Green River and Sweetwater County and Rock Springs. And I just want to thank you folks for supporting the program. And I look forward to a bright future as a board member and helping the program progress and mature. Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, I would just have one. How do people get started in the program then?
Sure. So usually they are referred by their defense attorney.
Oh.
And sometimes they come to us specifically. Sometimes prosecuting attorneys actually refer them as well. They have to be ordered into the program. So they apply, and then we look at their needs and their risks and see if they will be a fit for our program. And then from there, they go to sentencing, and then the judge decides if this is an option or not for them.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Does the council have any questions or comments?
Have a
Yeah,
comment.
go ahead, Gary.
I just want to make a comment and say how proud I am of you, the graduates that had the courage to get in the program and stick into the program and be successful and to graduate. I worked with a group for 2 years doing the same type of thing, helping people that were having alcohol and drug problems. And so I've seen what you've seen, and it is a hard, long road. And so I'm proud of you, and I want to congratulate you for the success that you did, and congratulate the treatment court for being there for them. If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't have succeeded. So thank you.
Else? Oh, go ahead.
I just want to also mention to congratulate you guys for sticking with it. Yeah, I mean, that's digging down deep, and that just shows your grit. That's just amazing. And you're always at a fork of the road, and you have to make those choices. And it's not, nobody's had a perfect life. Trust me. I mean, we all go through this path, but for what you came from, that's just thank you for what you're doing and staying with it. But I'm glad that we do have this program, and tremendously thank you for everything you guys have done. So
Thank you for that.
That's okay. Okay, well, thank you very much. We really appreciate this stuff, the work you do. Helps our community out in probably ways we'd never even hear of or know of, but it's very important work, I think. And so we very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
So
Thank
thank
you
you
for
for
that
coming.
acknowledgement.
Look for continued support, I believe. So
Thank you so much.
Okay. thank you. Okay, the next item on our agenda is also a presentation from Sweetwater Combined Communications and Joint Powers Board in their 2022 annual report. Yes, go ahead, Rick.
Okay. Good evening, counselors. My name is Rick Hawkins. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the executive director of the Combined Communications Center located here in Green River. I've been in that position since January of 2019. And that brings me to our annual report. We started creating annual reports in 2019 and gave them to our funding entities. And tonight, I know we have emailed those out to all of the council members. In addition to that, we did have a few sessions where we invited counselors or county commissioners or their representatives to come over to the center and have a little bit more in-depth history presentation for what the center was, how it started, what it does today. And I would invite those folks that didn't have a chance to attend that to just get a hold of us anytime you want. We'd be glad to go over that with you. We got some pretty good feedback from the folks that attended. Said it was provided, number one, a lot of information, but number two, it gave them an opportunity to have a question and answer session with us. That sometimes in public meetings, we have things that we just can't present because of the security reasons. Okay. So anyway, tonight, our 2022 numbers, I just want to go over a few highlights of these. Number one is it's in our key statistics in our report. The actual total number of calls has been pretty close over the years, at least the last few years. There is a little bit of a downturn in what we are able to measure as an inbound administrative call. That is kind of by design because we have created a fairly robust computer system that allows the units, whether they're fire is getting on board, police has been on board for a while, ambulance is also getting on board to be able to communicate a little bit more through mobile data computer in their cars. And what that does is some of the stuff that would have went over either a phone call or radio is able to be handled through that. So we would have expected those to go down, which they did. But overall, the change from the prior years, we were down total calls 14%. Again, a good majority of that is by design. So I'll move along. Our calls for service. Typically, the Rock Springs Police Department, of all the agencies we serve, they get the most calls for service. And that continues this year. However, the sheriff's office is pretty darn close. And then third, of course, is Green River Police Department. Law enforcement just takes up that many calls compared to any other agency that we dispatch for. So that's pretty standard over the last 2 or 3 years as far as the number of calls. So we would expect that to continue. Radio usage, again, this is two-way radios. It's pretty much, since we've been able to measure it through the WildLink system, it's stayed a little bit. It's tailed off just a little bit from 22, from 20, or in 22 from 21. Again, our mobile data usage has risen over the last 3 years pretty steadily. And again, that's expected. I want to touch just a little bit on some projects. During the year, we were able to complete some capital projects. The biggest one of note was we were able to change update our 911 phone call handling system. I don't know if any of you have heard about a concept for what's called Next Gen 911. What that means is there'll be a lot more internet-based type methods to communicate, such as video and text and phone calls, in addition to voice phone calls. When we update this system, it is capable to receive that. In the state of Wyoming, there are no Next Gen 911 systems out there right now. We were able to replace our firewall. We're a pretty good target for cybercrime. As you might imagine, we house a lot of sensitive data. So we want to make sure that we keep those up to date. Our IT director is David Halter. If you know him, if you don't know him, he keeps a pretty close eye on those things to make sure that we deal with any kind of an attack if there is one. And the firewall helps us take care of that. We also were able to replace our CAD workstations. CAD is our computer-aided dispatch workstations. So they were with us from day one in 2012. So they were kind of old. We did get those replaced. There's a few things in our upcoming project list and for fiscal 23 that are called phase projects. And there are projects that we're able to phase over the course of several years. So we're looking at doing some server upgrades. We don't have to do them all at once. We can do them phased over time. The UPS system, that is the universal power supply system. We have one leg of power into the building. We should have two. We have replaced the batteries in this system, so it's not in dire need, but that is one of the projects that'll be coming up here fairly soon. And again, in the rest of this report kind of lays out over the upcoming years of things, capital projects wise, we think should come before our board and therefore before the funding entities to get in place and move forward. That's a highlighted overview of our report for the end of the year, and I'd be glad to take any questions if anybody has any.
Does anyone have any questions?
Nope. Okay, again, anytime you want to come up, we'd be glad to show you around and go through the information that we have. Thank
Just
you.
one thing, oh, excuse me, Rick.
Oh, yes, sir.
Just one thing I picked up from attending a meeting occasionally was the smart watches or whatever you call them. And
Yeah.
they call in if somebody's skiing or something and they sudden stop like an accident.
Yeah.
So it calls. I just thought that was kind of I don't know if it's amusing, but I thought it was.
It's we can thank Apple for that. Apple's the only one that has that technology right now.
Yeah.
In their defense, they did give all of the 911 call centers across the country. I think there was either 3 or 4 presentations about what to expect to receive that kind of information. They also have a system now in their new iPhones that can send a 911 text message via satellite. So if you don't have service, the phone walks you through how to send that if you're in a no service area. And if you are in Sweetwater County, we will get it. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Now's the time for citizens, if they have anyone here that would like to speak out on a item that's not on the agenda, they're welcome to speak right now. Seeing none, I guess we'll move on. We'll just take a couple second break. If anybody wants to leave the meeting, they can go ahead and leave if they want to go home or do something. They don't have to stay through the rest of our meeting. Unless they feel like it, you're more than welcome. Yep. Okay. 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 The next item on our agenda is the resolutions. Consideration of a resolution to accept the Green River Greenbelt Master Plan.
Good evening, Council President and Council. Brad Rainey, Parks and Recreation Director. I'm not going to go through the contents of the plan that was presented to y'all last week, and it's been sent to you a few times, but just wanted to make a few comments. Number one, this was accomplished through a grant that John and I worked on a couple of years ago with the National Park Service. It was a different kind of grant. We weren't given money. There wasn't even a grant agreement. They just sent us kind of an expert from the National Park Service to work with us. And based on the cost of other master plans with this amount of time commitment required, I'd value that at about $75,000 to $100,000 that we were able to, and services that we were able to get. Number two, it was a robust public engagement to get this document in front of you for approval. Surveys, public hearings, a lot of different people working on focus groups from all over the community. And we've given lots of opportunities for public comment. We finished it up with, I think, a 6-week period where it was posted on the website. We advertised for people to kind of speak now or forever hold their peace before this is presented in front of you. And finally, we'll see the lasting effects of the document, but I think the planning process has been just as valuable as the document itself. The task force is doing a lot right now. John talked a lot about the accomplishments last week, but like as we sit right now, between grants and donations, they're up around $1 million that will be invested into the city of Green River for a better quality of life. So even though this is like the final step of the master plan, it's already created a lot of momentum, energy on the board, new board members that are leading projects. So that being said, I think this is like the perfect time for this plan to be finalized, as we have the prospect of growth ahead of us in the city to have this in place, ready to go and guide us. And with that, I'll take any questions that you might have. And John's here too, if you have any questions for him.
Are there any questions or comments from council? And I have none. Okay, thanks, Brad. We need a motion, I believe, to.
Council President,
Resolution.
I move to approve the resolution accepting the Green River Greenbelt Master Plan.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Any other comments? Okay, all in favor signify by our usual sign.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. Let's see, the next item is a council action item. Consideration to approve the first responder law enforcement mental health support grant agreement. Go ahead, Ryan.
Council, as you'll remember, back in November, we asked for permission to apply for the first responder and law enforcement mental health support grant. These are ARPA funds that the legislature set aside. We were awarded that grant in the amount of $32,575, for which we will use it to provide some programming to support our law enforcement officers, our first responders, fire department, and work in partnership with some of our other first responder agencies in the community. This is 100% federal funds, and we're just asking for your permission to sign the agreement.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Okay, we also need a motion on this, so. There's a motion, we'll proceed. Go ahead, Sherry.
Okay. I move to approve and accept the first responder and law enforcement mental health support grant agreement with the Wyoming Department of Health pending legal approval.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Is there no comments? So all in favor, signify by our usual sign.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The next item is consent agenda.
Council President, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Okay. Any comments? I guess it's not up for comments, so.
Second.
I guess we're ready for a motion then. I was gonna vote. Better make a motion first.
We did. Gary made the
Oh,
motion.
I'm sorry, I missed
That's
it.
okay.
Yeah.
And then-
Okay.
I second.
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded, Gary, and got it, okay. So. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, the next item on our agenda is the city administrator's report. He's absent, so Chris Meets is filling in, so.
Good evening, Council President and council members. I'll keep it short and sweet tonight. Steve has sent you guys our weekly update, good concise update from everyone. We're in the middle of doing some planning in that from the finance committee activities last week. And budget seems to be on its way. I guess I could put a plug in for that too. As Pete would say, I don't think he gave the tax numbers last time, so I won't steal his thunder too much, but the number was just slightly over 800,000. I'll let him give you the details. Still a good number for us. Best number we'd had since about 2014 or 15, if I remember correctly. With that, I'll entertain any questions. And I guess this will be the first time that Reed's went to Hawaii that I haven't got pictures of him in Hawaii at the council meeting. He's flying out tonight. So
It's snowing down there.
with luck, I won't have pictures in the middle of a council meeting while we're getting a blizzard of a beautiful sunset. And that typically happens. So I don't think, hopefully he's back before the next meeting.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay, thank you. City attorney report.
I have no report tonight, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Any report or any comments or reports from the city council? Go ahead, Gary.
I have nothing.
Ron?
I have nothing. I have nothing.
Nothing. Okay, and Sherry? Good. Nothing? Matt?
Actually, I do. I'm sorry. I always have something to say, don't I? No, I want to throw a shout out to Ryan, just hanging in there tough with the legislation with all the 500 bills and oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So thank you, because that really kept us updated, and that's a lot to really tune in with. So good job.
The only comment I had is Sherry and I did tour the Joint Communications Center last week and a half ago, and it was really good. I enjoyed every part of that presentation we had. Got a lot of statistics, a lot of what goes on, how it works. Got demos of 911, a lot of other stuff they showed us in there. It was just a very interesting tour, I thought, so I enjoyed that. And I believe you did too. Yeah, so it was well worth the time to go. And if you get a chance to go up there, go ahead and take him up on his offer to take a tour. Okay. Next item is executive session, and I think we have one.
Council President,
Yes.
I make a motion that we adjourn to executive session for employee matters and invite Carrie, HR Director, to attend the meeting. And there will not be any decisions after the meetings, after the session. So.
There's second on that.
Second.
Thank you. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded to go to executive session. We'll go in the other room and we'll be back. No one has to stay. There will be no action, so.
No action.
I also think Chris is invited to that meeting if he wants to come.
Who?
Chris
No,
Meeks.
just Carrie.
Just Carrie?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.